Just terribly sorry. I finally got the AC to work.
Thank you.
That being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go to the Fear Factory, or rather, just the factory level, in Donkey Kong Country Returns. Turns out the Tikis have had a use for this thing since the Kremlings jumped ship, both figuratively and literally.
Yeah.
Well, my guess is it's for banana production, or something of it.
Also, as a bit of a disclaimer, for this part, possibly the next two parts, depending how on this evening goes, I might sound a little bit different because, you know, autumn time, autumn allergies, so if I sound a little bit like congested, that's why.
That's fair. We've all had our sick days, and I mean, granted, sometimes it hasn't been so bad it stopped us from doing recordings in general. I mean, heck, have you seen how freaking dog sick I can get sometimes?
Yeah.
I shall join hype and solidarity by pinching my nose for the
Oh, come on, you don't have to do that.
I will do likewise, even though I know I should probably not be holding my nose and
Yeah,
playing the game at the
should.
same time.
James, the wheel.
Right, the wheel.
You can't take the wheel.
Exactly.
Oh, and to our left, to
hang
our
on.
left, we'll find our obligatory Mr. Game & Watch reference.
Hey.
He's hard at work getting this factory shipshape again.
Yep.
Someone's got to do it.
I think if we also look close enough, there's also a reference to 25 millimeters.
I believe
Or
so.
meters, I mean.
I think, wasn't that in the ruins level, or was that just the Donkey Kong sprite itself that was the...
That was just the DK sprite itself.
Okay.
Yeah, 25 meters itself you can actually see somewhere on this level if you're diligent enough.
Nice.
Whoop.
Careful.
Also, I noticed something to the left here.
Yep.
This doesn't
Oh, I
look
didn't know
safe.
you could stay on those.
I guess you're gonna have to if you want that extra puzzle piece, but yeah, I mean, honestly, this is the kind of error that could really kill a monkey if they're not prepared. Oh.
Dare ye take the risk.
Oh.
Take the leap.
Take the leap forward and hold your breath.
Who here has seen Space Monkeys? Or Space
The
Chimps,
movie
whatever
I have
it is
not.
called?
Ow.
I can't say I have, no.
I mean, I've seen like promotional bits of it, and I know like more. The most I even remember from it is that it did get a game adaptation around the same time.
Oop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to go down.
Yeah, at least we weren't too terribly far from the checkpoint.
It's... I mean, it... how to put it? I mean, I'd say it's Nickelodeon movie worthy.
Oh.
So kind of like that one Area 51 movie.
I forgot
You
about
know
the,
that,
yeah.
and you did nothing.
It's that movie. Trying to think of other... Now,
Up.
now I'm just
damn.
now I'm just genuinely like in the back of my mind, like I'm thinking of all the movies that I classify as Nickelodeon tier, like The Nut Job, what was it, Freebirds? That's another one.
I think so. Yeah.
These are not to say that these are made by the Nickelodeon production company. I'm just saying like these are like the kind of movies that I would have expected to see. Movies that I don't think deserved a theatrical release and more so would have been seen on Nickelodeon like as a primetime slot.
Yeah, I get you.
Wasn't there like some fun park movie that was released not too long ago that sort of fits that same category?
Yes, Wonder Park.
I think that one actually was distributed by Nick.
I think it was. I remember it looked cool to me. I don't know how. Yeah, I'm gonna look up how well that did because I was genuinely kind of curious in it. My biggest complaint was that I didn't understand what the plot of it was. Like, so the girl finds an abandoned amusement park. That I get, but then when everything becomes magical and alive, it's like not. They're making it seem like yes, we're sharing this with the people, but if you watch closely, the people themselves, the other consumers of the park, were magically created. So they're not real people. They're fake. Yeah, let me see.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Let us see how its reception was, because it looked decent. It grossed $45.2 million. The film has an average score of 34%.
Yeah, it seems about right. I mean, like the
47.
advertisements from what I've seen weren't anything particularly special.
Okay, and it looks like so it looks like unfortunately my initial thoughts on the trailer are kind of what it is. It's very colorful and energetic, but doesn't really have a story that hooks you. It's just it's a spectacle movie.
Also, I wasn't paying attention. At any point during that level did we find 25 meters?
I was not eagle-eyed enough, unfortunately.
I'll look it up just in case to see where.
Because I'm sure hype's not full of shit on that matter. This feels like the kind of game that would make a 25 meters reference. I just don't remember if it was in the factory or not.
I'm looking it up now. I'm sure there'll be something here.
I want to say it is because I remember it did happen in the like shadow level of this world. Ooh, robot chicken.
Quite literally. Yeah, it's just... Yes, that was indeed a thing right around that time. In fact, I think that was already, like, what? Like, just about 8 years old by that time?
Yep.
Do you think they're actually going to make a return? Do you think they're going to make a reference to it and its construction site in the Mario Brothers movie?
Ow!
Ow! Maybe.
Okay, yeah. So it says right here, the stage appears near the start of Foggy Fumes.
Okay, then yeah, we likely passed it.
And it's like right at the
Yeah,
very start,
oops.
so no worries. No worries. I shall add that to my list of things to buy. Or not buy, to download because of the expo. So what are your guys' thoughts on this industrial zone?
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad. It has the right difficulty for this, this far into the game.
Okay.
Anyway, you can hop off now if you want to.
Oh.
I just wanted to get a move on, considering how many times we freaking lost it to these crushers
Yeah.
and zappy thingies.
Makes sense.
I'll just
I actually just caught you and it reset the timer.
Okay, so we can jump over that.
We'll also say, Returns has like several covers of Fear Factory's theme, and they're absolutely brilliant.
It's still fantastic work. Very well synthesized.
Woo!
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Again, I'll
Very
never
good
knock
stuff.
this game for having some pretty solid covers of classic DKC games. Now, the originality of the whole thing, I mean, that's kind of its own can of worms, but it is what it is.
Oh, okay, that was close.
But yeah, I agree. That is the issue to deal with. Is that like there are. I do wish that this game had a little more of its own identity to it, and it did not. In terms of its soundtrack, I wish it did not have to piggyback as hard.
Because I was about to say, I feel like it has enough of an identity in spite of that.
Oh yeah, no, like
Oh.
especially in the gameplay department. Like again, this is kind of like its own beast compared to the classic DKC trilogy.
Okay.
I mean, heck, even in Japan, I don't think they completely exactly acknowledge it as a Donkey Kong Country thing. Like it literally just is Donkey Kong Returns.
Oh, okay, gotta duck under that. Duly noted.
But yeah, no. Otherwise, yeah, these levels can get pretty tricky, assuming you're not being an absolute yutz about it.
Yeah, I thought I had enough time to jump between them. Whoop!
Oh, jeez!
Wow.
Goodness.
No freaking chance.
I didn't know those are insta-killed.
I mean, especially since all the other... Well, then again, I guess it was only one. Oh!
Whoa.
Whoa, slow
Yeah,
down,
no,
DD.
this level doesn't leave you much room to talk.
Settle down.
DK?
there.
Where'd you go?
My laptop. Turn it.
Don't worry, I'm right here, little buddy.
There we go.
Oh!
Oh no.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
And they actually expect you to use one of those pistons as a platform to get the Jeep!
Whoop!
Little buddy!
Go on without me!
10-4, little buddy!
Because I'm pretty sure you're at the end of this point.
I believe I am. I just gotta, again, it's like, the timing of these pistons are like, it's honestly on a similar level to the freaking spiked pillars from the Mario games. Like, those things are brutal.
And then he made it to the end.
The end.
It was all too easy.
So that all aside, do you think that whole rumor regarding that 2D Donkey Kong game by the Odyssey team still holds any water?
Did they confirm if it was fully 2D? Because it keeps going back and forth from what I hear. Like, some people say it's 2D, some people say it's 3D.
And genuinely, I have nary a clue. I'm just gonna wait until any new direct. I mean, that's the part. I feel like that is the fun of being surprised because I don't have to have any expectations with which to now build up. So I'm just gonna go into it saying it would be cool, but I have no proof whether for or against if they're going to make one. I do agree that it has been a little while since our last DK game, the 2D DK game. But on that regard, I would then still argue that it's been even longer since we've ever had any sort of attempt at a 3D one again.
Yeah,
I mean, we only had the one.
exactly.
Oh, well. Well, then, there you go.
I mean, it's about high time, but it's just that. At first, I thought it was just some sort of E3 scrap that turned out to be false, but it turns out turns out that whole thing's still holding some merit in the fact that apparently someone was managed to leak Nintendo's plans for next year, and part of it does still involve that DK project that was alluded to earlier. I mean, among other things, it also did include the ouch.
Oops.
Careful.
I mean, among other things, it also mentioned,
Oh.
a tale as old as time, a potential Metroid Prime trilogy for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll happen eventually. Like, I feel like they'll probably release that after Dread.
And again, that is still part of the reason why I'm debating if I should be recording Metroid Prime Echoes like off of the Wii U or off of the Switch. But then again, I don't know. Like, basically, we do want to still try and remain consistent with our goals of trying to go back and forth. Otherwise, we'll be patzing around all day. So the idea being that I would
Oop.
each of us would be buying the other one time doing another game. So you know what? Yeah. I'm still, regardless of what happens, I'm still going to record Metroid Prime 2 on my Wii U. We'll just see if between now and when anything else happens that whether or not I'll be recording Prime 3 on the Wii U or on the Switch.
Oop.
Either way, I'm probably gonna get the Prime trilogy because I don't want to hang on to my Wii U forever. And
That thing is taking up space.
And I genuinely think that, it's a fantastic, trilogy of games. Now, the tricky part, as always, and maybe this is why it's taking so long to put on Switch, is Prime 1 is easy enough. I can even argue that Prime 2 would be easy enough. How do you port Prime 3 onto a console that has the potential to be playing handheld and thus not have any motion controls whatsoever?
Well, if I can ask, would you say there's anything in particular Prime 3 does that makes it a little tricky to port to Switch?
It had the pointer thing. So they would basically the sense of, whereas they basically would have to pull the reverse of what the Prime trilogy on Wii and Wii U did for those games.
Did he just go for it?
Go for it! Whereas they had to retroactively add in Wii pointer controls to the Prime 1 and 2. If they wanted to make it work on the Switch, they may have to look into basically, going in reverse and adding, controller controls for Prime 3.
I mean, at the same time, I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to really implement, considering that the Switch already has native gyro control.
That is also true. Why the hell didn't we do that for Galaxy?
I mean, technically they did, but only when you're playing it on TV mode. When you're playing portably, you have to use the touchscreen, which honestly does not do that game many favors.
It doesn't make sense.
Necessarily.
And it's the one game, I'm so bummed because I loved playing that game just before bed when I'm just hanging out. That's how I was able to do Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine, all 100%ed. Yes, even Sunshine. But Galaxy can't do it, and I don't want to mess up I don't want to freaking gussy up and gunk my fingers on the touchpad all day. Anyway, I'm not complaining about random things again. So, any particular grievances with this world yet, or is it still treating you guys fine?
Well, aside from that little mishap with the hands earlier, I like to think it's still going relatively okay.
Good.
Oh! Sorry,
I get the feeling our mojo was somehow sapped after our time at the cliffs.
No, it's fine. I was just waiting for you to respawn.
I'm sure you guys are. Don't worry. We're on the penultimate level.
There we go.
World.
Whoops.
It's okay. We're allowed to be oh my gosh, this game is still difficult. It's not impossible. It's just, to the simple.
Wait long enough.
Well,
I made it.
It's just passion the damn. Okay.
Just get out of there.
Yeah, thank you. Please. This factory's starting to drive me bananas.
Dun.
Well, on the plus side, it seems like the weather calmed down. Because I wasn't sure how audible it was, but it was thundering like mad earlier.
I did hear some thunderstorms earlier in the call.
Yeah, but I think it's starting to die down just a little bit.
Good.
Oh boy.
Gear Getaway. This is the title that they use when bringing in the lovable Rocket Barrel theme to Smash Brothers. Which, by the way, that is a very awesome cover of the song.
Oh,
Oh
fantastic.
yeah, that's
It's
probably
great.
one of my favorite DK remixes they made in Smash.
Probably one of the only noteworthy ones, considering everything else. It's either freaking Jungle Hijinks or the what I call the DK National Anthem.
Well, I was about to say, to Ultimate's credit, we did still get some really good ones, like the two that we got associated with Karul.
Oh yeah, no, those
Those
remixes
are so
are
good.
those are really good. And I mean, granted, I guess I will also say, in some relation to this, I do think the vocal rendition of the Returns theme is actually really good, considering it's also done in the more or less in the same style as the freaking Grassland Groove sit level from Tropical Freeze.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, they literally got everyone to literally sing their hearts out for that theme. Well, not quite like that, but you'd have to hear it to believe it. So yeah, it's go time, Diddy.
Let's do this.
I'm scared.
But Diddy, you've had plenty of experiences with rockets.
You're the one that was driving him, though.
I'm gonna say, let's be careful. I can tell Hype is like making a weird face as he's trying to do that.
Well, I'm not doing anything, oddly enough.
Wait, but like,
Oh.
I'm talking about like with like the sinus and
Oh no.
Oh, that.
what's wrong?
What's wrong? Oh! Actually, hang on.
Really? You guys just have to take it down.
Wait,
now,
I have
or-
an idea.
We have to reset.
Okay.
Well, actually, what was your idea, Hype?
My idea was we would try to do a roll jump, and I would try to jump off your back and see if I can get it.
Oh,
Can you? I don't think you can do that.
well, it's like not only it's worth a shot, but I'm also thinking like unless you can get
Okay,
back
yeah, it
to the
didn't work.
platform safely, it wouldn't like save
Well,
the
I-
purpose of getting it.
Well,
this is the,
I could.
this is the,
yeah,
this is the
well,
first for the playthrough, everybody. We're actually gonna have to reset from the very beginning.
Sorry.
Actually, no, this is the second time. The first time happened like way back in World 1 when we accidentally missed that one letter with Rambi.
Right,
Right.
but no, that's all I was gonna say. Well, because the warp took us past it. I think genuinely we've had a pretty good streak.
I like to think so, yeah.
And I was hoping we wouldn't have to worry about breaking that there streak.
Fair.
Oh, Jesus! They're just practically spoon feeding us the puzzle pieces at this point. The first, like 3 of them, literally within the first few steps of the level.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, we'll be right back.
Again, no, I don't doubt it. I bet it's happened like once. It has to have happened once. Seeing the statistics.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, hello everybody. Welcome back.
Jeez, we barely even touched the level. We already got 5 out of the 7 pieces.
Yeah. One life
No life.
that we lost. I will be right back.
Alrighty.
Okay, no worries. Just,
Well, hey, you know what? It's a good thing I already have Diddy latched on my back.
carry on, carry on.
Carry on, little buddy. Whoa. Just barely grazed that by my chocolate swirl hair.
But a singe of your twist.
You know, it's still, of all things that still fucking disturbed me about the TV show, apparently that's a biological part of DK's body. Just
That's
the fact
right,
that his
when
hair
they-
isn't
yeah,
a
when they shaved-
twirl.
Yeah, when they shaved and because they didn't want to make just this flat out like new model render, they just wanted to apply a different texture. Yeah, the swirl just became the shape of his head. It's like that. Have you seen that cursed image where it's Yosemite Sam having shaved his mustache,
Yes.
and it's just more skin.
I mean, granted, it already looks about as unnatural as Elmer Fudd in that one CG short, the Daffy's Rhapsody.
Fair, but I do still love that short so much. Like they did.
Oh yeah, no, that short is amazing. It's just that, I mean, I know why people love those shorts. They are very, very well done. It's just that there's some things that don't need to be so highly detailed.
Fair.
Namely on Elmer Fudd. Alright, now we come to the big gears. Honestly, it's not too bad, considering that the metal pieces sticking out are pretty dang small compared to the rest of the screen.
But won't there be the risk of getting crushed later, or is it gonna be nice at least?
Nah, it's nice.
Okay.
Okay, looks like I got everything. And banana slammer!
And out it goes. Another barrel out to waste.
Make haste.
Not waste. Ah, well then. So far, so good. I think we've been keeping track of... I mean, not to say that, our life count was, exorbitant or anything like that, but I think we're still doing pretty well for ourselves.
Right, so, okay. Now we come to the point of the factory level where we're gonna start following a certain theme.
Oh?
The next 3 levels are going to have a secret room we need to find. And inside those rooms is a big red button that we need to slam down in order to power up a certain doohickey that is hidden within the factory.
And is this too... otherwise, are we kind of stuck in a, Super Mario World forest thing where we won't be able to move forward unless we've done this?
Correct. On the bright side, though, finding the red switches themselves isn't going to take too much time. Honestly, it's not too hard to find them.
Okay.
Like the clues that are necessary to find them are actually pretty dang obvious.
Well then, alright then, let this hunt begin.
And for those that are just catching up now, Hype is currently MIA, so I'm gonna have him latch on my back in the meantime. Basically, treat it as if it was
I
a
hear him
solo
coming
run.
back.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just had to put some laundry up.
No worries.
All right. Oh!
You're on the hunt for the big red buttons, potentially to make a better Sonic game. Sorry, that was a very cheap joke. Moving on.
Yeah, it was at the expense of a company that really didn't deserve all the fucking crap it got for it.
No, they didn't. No, they just the lovable world of video game and crunch, and companies that genuinely have somehow proven the definition of insanity of, hey, we've rushed games before to reach a deadline and it's blown up horrifically in our face. I'm pretty sure we got it this time.
Yeah, and like I said, I've already brought it up before in this commentary, but that's why I'm very much cautious about the upcoming Sonic Colors remastered, because it feels like if not handled properly, this could end up being the same scenario, at least for Switch owners.
But I guess I'm curious, Hype, would you be interested in getting that Colors remaster at some point?
I'm probably not going to be in a big hurry to, because I still have my Switch copy, but if it gets to a point where I lose it, but I still want to have a way to play Colors, and that, the core gameplay isn't, affected too much by the changes, then I probably would.
Okay.
For now, the most I'm aware of is that they did add in the Jade Wisp from Team Sonic Racing as a usable Wisp, and now the life system has more or less been replaced with a tail save function.
Huh.
Yeah.
Which seems, as far as I'm aware, seems just a lot more loose.
That's okay. I mean, I will give it a look-see. I don't know if I don't know if we're gonna just do a look at or something for that. I'm not sure.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even mind just doing the whole thing again from scratch, considering, well,
it's been a while.
It's been a little while since we did our Sonic Colors commentary, and looking back on it, it could have been handled better anyway.
I guess.
Fair.
And plus, I know, since we've been slowly getting Seely into Sonic herself, I'm sure she wouldn't be opposed to watching some Colors.
It is,
right,
and
hopefully this time, I won't be the only people on board for at least some of those parts.
Sorry.
Well, I thought Logan was there for a good chunk of it as well.
I had to miss a couple, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Well, just because other things were happening, I was like, you gotta do something. But I mean, and I'll be happy to share that. But I'm happy to share that with Seely. That is still my favorite rendition of Tails.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that she came back for Rise of the Wisps, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Kate Higgins did return for that, and I mean, it's one of those, like you said, it could have just been one of those things where Colleen could have easily have taken over, but they wanted to keep consistent, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of which, that's also, speaking of consistencies, I kind of want your guys' opinion on it. I've heard a lot of people were actually really, persnickety about how Sonic was running in that game, and they were kind of failing to... Excuse me?
You mean the short?
Yeah, with the short. A lot of people weren't too fond of how, kind of snarky Sonic was in that, and I'm just like, it's pretty consistent with how he is in Colors. I don't see how it's a bad thing.
He wasn't being rude. He was just like, hey, what are we doing talking? We should go and do it.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, you saw the short, right, Logan?
Yes.
He was there with us. He was there with us when we watched it.
Okay, well, just for
remember it like it
conversation's
was
sake.
yesterday.
Whoop! But I was about to say, a lot of people were kind of pissy about the idea of, like, it felt like Sonic wasn't really taking the story all that seriously.
Well, I mean, granted, on one hand, I could sort of understand that, like, maybe it was a little insincere to try and, romanticize the whole... Well, romanticize. Basically just, fiddle around with the whole idea of Eggman being a serious threat.
Oh,
even though, like, trying to make light out of a very traumatic situation for the Wisp. At the same time, though, it was at Eggman's expense. So it's not entirely out of character for him to be that way towards him.
He wasn't making fun of the Wisp.
And I will also say, I do still like how, you know, I don't know, maybe just for being a good sport, the Jade Wisp honestly actually did, you know.
Was playing along, yeah. I do like that. It's like, hey, wait a minute. You're making it interesting just for me, aren't you?
Like, that feels like Sonic to me, and that's honestly something I can appreciate.
Yeah.
I can definitely agree that some of it might have seemed a little too, okay, since we're already done with that, we don't have to worry about that. We can move on.
Thank you. I was gonna agree with you. I'm agreeing with you that, like, my interpretation of what happened there is that Sonic was being insensitive. If anything, the idea is that whereas the Wisp was potentially traumatized by this, Sonic knows enough, at least about his current track record, that it really is all, like, in what's going on in Sonic's mind is, like, it's all fluff. I know that at the end of the day, I'm gonna be kicking Eggman's butt somehow. Let's just skip to that part.
Right.
Because all of this is, like, I guess that's what he was saying there. Like, he was like, okay, we get the story. He's evil. I guess it's basically him being like, wow, shocker, he's evil again? Cool. All right, let's take care of that.
Yeah, honestly, it's just like not even just with Rise of the Wisps. There seems to be like this resurgence of people that don't really seem to like the idea of snarky being people don't seem to like the idea of Sonic being this kind of like snarky a-hole when like he's been like that since his conception.
I feel like there definitely has to be a balance of that, though, because I feel like with Sonic, the only excuse he should have for being snarky is with his enemies, no one else. If it's with his friends, then it might come off as a little insensitive.
Because that's the fun part where I get to say when people are all like, I don't like snarky Sonic, I like the way he was back in the original Japanese. Look up how he is in the OVA movie.
Yeah, there's not, and honestly, not even that. Like, if you don't like Sonic how he is here, you are gonna despise him and stuff like, say, Sonic the Comic.
Oh yeah, no, dude, that's Sonic the comic. Sonic is borderline insufferable, in my honest opinion.
He is. Which version of it are we talking about? The original.
The Fleetway comic.
The Fleetway
That's
comics.
right. Yeah. Okay. Those comic. Yeah.
The one that gave us the evil Super Sonic.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Because that's the other thing. Because that is another big thing. Is that back in the day, like people seem to sometimes mix up, or not even mix up, because I guess they are. Basically, people.
I still talking to you. Gay.
Did anyone hear that?
I did it. I guess it's like people like to mix. People can sometimes mix up the idea of, is Sonic meant to be, you know, cool and edgy?
Oh, sorry. I'm just so used to you doing the menus.